Did you know that North Royalton is only 21.4 square miles? It's one of the smaller cities in Cuyahoga County. Today, I'm going to take you on a Google Map tour of North Royalton. So we're going to talk about schools, where they are at, main roads, how to get in and out of there, how to hop on some of the highways. How far are you from other cities like Cleveland, Akron? What about airports too? I'll show you that as well. And you're going to want to stick around. As with all my map videos, we look at some current homes on the market so you can kind of get a real feel of what your options are. And you're going to get a better feel for what I talked about in my pros and cons video on the importance of budgeting. So let's get into that right now. Hi, my name is Joe Latanzo, and I'm a local real estate agent here in Northeast Ohio. And if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Northeast Ohio and the different cities and the surrounding areas, then make sure that you subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know what's going on in the marketplace here in Northeast Ohio. My team and I, we get calls every day from people just like you looking to make a move in Northeast Ohio. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd be happy to help you make that smooth move in any of these different cities here in Northeast Ohio. All right, so let's jump into the map right now. So here you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit. This is going to be North Royalton right here. Your 21.4 square miles of North Royalton. So let's get into where it's located. It's on the southern part of Cuyahoga County. And cities that are going to be bordering North Royalton are going to be to the north. You've got Parma Heights here. You've got Strongsville. To the west, you've got Broadview Heights to the east. And then to the south, you've got Hinckley Township. So let's talk about some of the roads that you're going to be driving on to get in and out of North Royalton. You're going to hear some numbers. State Route 82, which is Royalton Road, right? Now that is going to be a main east and west artery that's going to run straight through North Royalton towards Broadview Heights. And then you've got Route 3, which is Ridge Road, and that's going to run, that's a north and south road. That's another main road that runs right through town all the way out of North Royalton. And then you have State Road, which is on the east side, which is another main road that runs straight through just on the east side of the city. With that, you've got a couple other different roads that are kind of tie it together, right? So you've got Wallings, which comes through. You've got Bennett Road, which takes you southwest side of North Royalton. And then you've got York Road here. That's going to kind of tie it together. And then Albion Road. So these are going to be the roads that are going to kind of get you around, get you through, get you around in and out of North Royalton, depending on where you're going. Now let's take a look at traffic-wise when you're driving in and out of North Royalton. There's going to be some 2-lane roads, going in and out. And, you're looking at Ridge Road is going to be one. State Road is going to be one. Okay. You're going to find some bottlenecks here and there. Route 82 till you get to West 130th, kind of bottlenecks in through here going to 71. So, and then you have coming out here, it's not too bad. Going out 82 towards 77. So to get to the highways, here's 71. So you're taking 82, right? Through bottleneck, in here a little bit. a little bit in here because you're right in the city. Everything kind of comes through, especially if you live on the east side of town and you got to hit 71, you're coming through the city. So all that traffic is kind of coming through that way. And then you've got 77. So in order to get to 77, you're taking Wallings Road. Now, depending on where you're at, right? Either way, you're taking Wallings Road to get on 77. So Wallings Road, again, is another 2-lane road that, you're going to run into a little bit of traffic on as well. And to get up from North Royalton to 480, you're going to have to, if you live on this end of town, you're looking at taking Route 3 all the way up to get access, or State Road up to get access to 480. They're going to be 1-lane roads up until about, I want to say, let me see here, till about this point right here when you get into. So you're going to run into a little bit of a bottleneck. Now, if you're going on the turnpike, you're kind of limited as to what your options are. It depends on which direction you're going. So you're most likely going to take 82 to 71 up here to get to the turnpike and head out, in either direction, depending on where you're at in North Royalton. Or, you're going to come through Broadview Heights, State Route 82, jump on 77 to jump on the turnpike and head out east. So your highway access, you just watch the times that you're leaving in the mornings, at night when you come back, because you could run into a little bit of traffic and bottlenecking on some of these, single road, 2-lane roads. So let's talk about what major cities are you close by in North Royalton. All right. So we already know the 4 cities that surround North Royalton. So you've got Cleveland. Now, you're going to be probably 25 to 40 minutes from Cleveland, and it really just depends on the traffic. It depends on what road you got to get there. Do you got to go up to 480? Are you jumping on 71? Do you got to jump on 77? What time you're leaving? All that kind of good stuff. Because, just make sure that you're cognizant of the time that you leave, because again, they are 2-lane roads and sometimes it's challenging to get in and out. So that's Cleveland. So, you're taking, there's a bunch of ways to get to Cleveland, right? You go Route 3, you take State Road. You can, if you live out this way, you're going to take 77 straight up into Cleveland. And if you live out this way, you're going to end up taking 71 all the way up into Cleveland. So just depends. So your commute time, again, anywhere from 25 minutes to 35, 40 minutes, depending on traffic. Now, Akron, you're probably same thing. How are you getting to Akron? Well, a couple different ways. Again, 77 takes you all the way down through into Akron. It's probably your best option to get into Akron. So, you're looking at least, again, it's going to be 40 minutes to get into Akron, really depending on traffic. If there's no traffic at all, could be less, could be 30 minutes. But, you can expect, depending on what time that you leave, that you're going to, run into some traffic in this area here, as well as up in here. So let's talk about airports. Where are you in proximity to airports? Well, let's zoom in first of all here. Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, which is right here. So where you at? You're probably 15 to 25 minutes, just depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from all the way on the south side of North Royalton, you got to do your diligence there to get up into the airport. So a couple different ways, 82 to 71, all the way up to Cleveland Hopkins. You could take Route 3 up to 480 and 480 across. So it just depends on, where you're at to get to the airport. There's back roads, you can shoot across all kind of back roads and, get on to 71 into the airport. So just depend on where you're coming from, but it's not too bad. You're fairly close. Now the other airport, which is, now you're talking Akron-Canton Airport, that is all the way down here. So unless you got some good flight prices, or it's the only way to get the hell out of Ohio through that airport, you're talking at least 50 minutes to get to the Akron-Canton Airport, which again, your 77 is your best bet to get up there. I should say down there. Okay, so where's all the schools at? They're pretty centrally located, actually, in North Royalton. So you've got the North Royalton City School District, and that's gonna have, let's zoom in here. You're gonna have the high school, the middle school, and the elementary school, fairly close. And you've got the stadiums too, which are close. You've got the baseball field here, and then you've got the bigger football stadium. Now you do also have, there's a couple other different options for schools, and that's going to be St. Albert, the Great Parish, as well as Royal Redeemer Lutheran School. So, you know, if your family is faith-based and, you know, you're looking for, you know, that type of education, you've got two great options in North Royalton for that. All right, let's talk about green space. What's there to do outside in North Royalton? How do you keep yourself healthy? How do you keep those kids healthy, running around and bringing them home tired after a long day of playing? All right, you've got a lot of stuff to do out here in North Royalton, and you're close by to one of the great metro parks, and we're going to talk about that. So let's jump in here to, you've got Memorial Park. Now, Memorial Park has playgrounds, they've got ball fields, and they've got the Memorial Lake Pond that's there, and that's where they have the George Modoc Jr. Memorial Fishing Derby. And it's a catch and release strictly only. You can't kayak in there, no watercraft, there's no swimming. They stock it just before the fishing derby. Let me zoom into so you can see everything they've got here. I'm gonna pull a satellite view up of this. So this is the park. You got a soccer field, you got a ball field there. You've got the playground, which has a splash pad. You've got all these tennis courts and 2 volleyball courts. This is a nice little pavilion right here. And then the pond is right here where they have the fishing derby. So lots of stuff to do. It's pretty big park. And you've got a couple of other parks. You've got the Ackerman Park. It's a nice little place to go hang out. Outside of that one, you've got the Sturwoods picnic area. Just a small little park, go hang out, have a picnic. So lots of things to go out and kind of relax and do outside. And then you get into some fun. You've got all these ball fields. You've got the York Recreational Ball Field. There's a ton of fields over here. A lot of tournaments, a lot of ball playing happening. You've got the York Archery and Range. That's kind of neat. Crooked Archers Outdoor Range. So if you're into archery, go hang out at the range. Oh, this is another cool place right here. Mr. Divots Driving Range, and they've got miniature golf over there as well. So you got some cool outdoor spots. Let's go up to the Lucille Heisley Soccer Field, where they host tournaments. Then when it gets a little cool outside and you got the weather happening and the rain and the snow and all that kind of good stuff that happens in Northeast Ohio, you've got the North Royalton Family YMCA. They've got a pool over there. They've got great hours to bring your family. They've got sports camps over there. And then you're close to, which is in Strongsville, but it's just down Route 82, is the Millstream Run Reservation, where they've got a bunch of hiking paths, bike paths. You've got toboggan chutes for the wintertime. Gotta love that. Something to do in the wintertime. Toboggan chutes. And then also there's a sledding area right over here. Paw sledding area. This area right there. It's a big giant sledding hill. So North Royalton in itself, a lot of sports, a lot of things to do outside, big memorial park. Then you've got North Royalton Public Safety. So you've got the fire and police station right out, right next to town there. Route 3 and Route 82. And then you've got station number 2, which is over north on York Road. And then, of course, right, in the event that, they need additional help, they have supports from other cities. Okay, so what's there to do, eat? Where's there to shop? So North Royalton, it's a smaller town, right? So there's some shopping, there's some dining. You've got a major grocery store. So, you've got some restaurants. You have 3B Spot, you got In the Woods, you have, where's the Mom's Grill and Deli? Those are downtown. And, of course, you're going to have some of the fast food places like Taco Bell, McDonald's, which is down over here. You've got your shopping center, which has Giant Eagle grocery store right there. So you can do some shopping, you can have some fast food, you can eat at a couple local venues, but any of the bigger venues you want, food, you're gonna hit Strongsville, you're gonna go up into Parma Heights, you're gonna head over to Broadview Heights, has a couple of restaurants. And then, of course, your other options are, further away. There's downtown Cleveland. You hit up some more restaurants, some more things to do, some nightlife, which is, again, maybe 40 minutes, 25 to 40 minutes, just depending on traffic. And then there's downtown Akron, of course, as well, which has a whole bunch of nightlife and activities and things to do down there too. Now let's get into what you have been wanting to see, and that's going to be some real estate. All right, so the neighborhoods here in North Royalton lead between the 70s through the 90s. You've got split levels, you've got colonials, you've got ranches. The neighborhoods, they're going to be mature neighborhoods. You're going to see quiet cul-de-sacs, sidewalks in sections, easy access to the east and west and north and south corridors through all those roads that we talked about. All right, so let's bring this to life. I'm going to pull in this map here I've got shown. It's the MLS. It's showing some actives, showing some solds. So let's go and take a look at some of these, what's going on in the marketplace. Let's hit a few different price points. And then, you know what, you're going to get a feel for what I had talked about in my pros and cons video about the 80s home care squeeze, is I believe what I named it. But you're going to see it once I, get into some of these houses and I show you the pictures. So, the whole point of that was to be budget conscious, right? Keep that in mind. Keep your budget in mind about what it is that you want to do, to these houses and kind of make it your own, right? Because there's always going to be that. So let's take a look. Here's a place. It's property right on the main road, right on Royalton Road, actually. And this home is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, right? And it was built in 1930. So this is a little bit older, but the price point on this thing is $274,000. So as you can see, it's move-in ready. It looks, and it was built in 1930. So you've got older kitchen cabinets. When I say old, it's not 1930 old, but they're older. As you can see, the floors just linoleum, Formica counters, room's probably a little bit smaller. So things need to be updated again. So this just goes to the budgeting piece that I had talked about. Probably a shorter basement, more cold storage, I guess, in the basement than, washer dryer. So you can't really finish it off. Get a little piece of property. That's nice. I think this one is 1.2 acres. So it's not too bad as far as, the size of the lot that you get. And this is kind of where it's at. And you're surrounded by everything, in North Royalton. So you're close to everything. $274,900 for that, and right on the main drag. All right, so $288,000. So we're kind of in the same ballpark. Now this is a ranch. This has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and this one was built in 1966. and it's got 1,800 square feet. So let's take a look. Looks like a wood burning fireplace. A little bit older. You got some paneling inside. What looks to be nice wood floors. You get a great view out those windows to the backyard. Ceramic tile, older. You got that nice 60s glass. And those banisters there. Oh yeah. I feel like have a 70s party in that house. Everything looks original to the house. You even have the original oven. Again, with the budget piece, right? $280,000, $274,000. You're gonna have what seems to be outdated, very outdated. But hey, if you're into that stuff, all you need is some 70s furniture and you're good to go. You don't have to change anything. You got some wallpaper there. Air conditioning in the wall. So definitely outdated. You got some nice wood floors. Needs some love, I would say. You got a fireplace downside. Oh, that's a wood burning stove downstairs. Looks like maybe at some point they may have had to replace that wall. So pretty big house, big ranch, decent sized lot, almost a little over 3/4 of an acre. So 280,000, 88,000. All right, let's see what else we got out here. This was built in 1998, so it's a newer home. 2,200, just over 2,200 square foot. And then you've got 1,100 square foot in the basement. And you're on just about 4/10 of an acre lot. 3 bedroom, 3 bath. So let's take a look and see what this has in it. Oh, I would say it's typical 90s build. I built a house in 2003, similar kind of features. Oak cabinetry, got that 90s ceramic tile floor going. I mean, it's a nice big house. And there's a lot of things you can do too, you know, without breaking the bank. You want to spruce it up, like, you know, painting kitchen cabinets and you know, you could even recoat these floors right over. There's products that go right over tile if you wanted to do something like that. Formica countertops, a little bit more on the traditional, not so much of an open floor plan. Nice fireplaces. Even at 1998, you know, you're still in that era, right, of that house. Hasn't really been modernized to, you know, up to 2025, right? So again, getting back to budget and what it is that, you know, you want to do and how much you can spend compared to what kind of renovations that you choose to do, or maybe you don't. But you got a decent sized lot, nice big house, nice backyard. That's a pretty big backyard. Patio, you got a deck on the back. Not all fenced in yard, but fairly nice. All right, let's see what else we got. 475, 3 bedroom. It's 4 bedroom, 3 bath. And this is a ranch, a little dated with the front stone like that. Built in 1955, just under 8/10 of an acre. Doesn't give me the square footage though. Oh yeah, I looked at this one. I actually like this one. Now it's been updated a little. You know, the kitchen's been updated. You got, looks like they've got granite countertops. You got new flooring, newer flooring, updated flooring. Nice open window. Look at those windows. Let's look at that. I like that. You got the breakfast bar sitting there. It's a little bit of a galley kitchen, right? But still, it's been updated. Love the wall of windows that look out your backyard. Love that. Updated bathrooms, nice hardwood flooring it looks like. Marble tile on the wall in the shower. And this is your basement. You got a fireplace downstairs too in the basement. So this one's been updated. No need to budget for any extra things here, unless you want to change the fireplaces. Nice walk-in shower. Updated bathroom. Yeah, this is a nice house. You got a bed. Looks like you got a bedroom downstairs and a bathroom. Sink down there in the laundry room. They've done a pretty good job on this place. Nice garage. All that shelving and cabinetry in the garage. And you got a 2-season room. Out the back. To the backyard. And the backyard looks nice. You got that patio. And you got a nice backyard. I like the wall of windows that overlooks the back. That's nice. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, built in 1991. So we got a little bit newer. 2,900 square foot plus another 1,000 square foot in the basement. So 1991. Let's see where we're at inside. 1991 woodwork. I can see that. All the molding and whatnot. Banisters. Windows. Windows look like they could be original. So big rooms. It's a big house at almost 3,000 square feet. So I don't know, some updates, I guess. Newer kitchen. That looks nice. Looks like cherry, Corian maybe for the counters. Big house. So there's a little bit of stuff that you have to do, right? Well, I mean, I guess your personal choice, right? To bring it a little more out of the 90s. But it's a big house. Looks nice. Skylights. Shower, you know, again, ceramic, marble, things like that would be bringing it into a more modern look. So I think these are all wood windows. They look wood. And then this is your basement, pretty big basement. And you got a walkout. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Walks out to the patio. And you got a full bath down there too. This is nice. I love the landscaping. That stonework looks great. I like that. Nice little hideaway fire pit. Nice house. That was $570,000. Let's just take a look at one more. $644,000. This is going to be built in 2007. We found a newer one. 3,000 square foot with 336 square feet of basement. Let me take a look at this. Nice wood flooring. So kind of finished off 2007, right? Smaller kitchen. All right, maybe not. Yeah, that picture was kind of deceiving. It's an eat-in kitchen. Decent counter space. I couldn't tell what kind of counters those were. You got nice flooring, vinyl windows, fireplace, not updated bathrooms. Light fixtures are a little older, but it's a nice big house. Not much to do here. So again, you see what I'm talking about when, you know, you start getting into neighborhoods and cities that, you know, have homes that were built in a certain time frame, and the newer ones, you know, that were built, you know, there's no newer to date built homes where you run into that. Okay, I got a budget for things. I got a budget for, you know, modernizing the home. I got to, you know, maybe replace bathrooms or kitchens or flooring and things like that. But this is a nice house, decent sized lot, huge driveway. Nice lighting. Well, that's your Google Maps tour of North Royalton, where we talked about schools, some main roads to get in and out of North Royalton, how to hit the highways, some different pricing options, and don't forget, mind your budget. Thanks for hanging out and watching, and if you thought this video was helpful, give us a thumbs up. And we're going to cover and continue to cover more in North Royalton. But in the meantime, check out some of my other videos on other Northeast Ohio cities, especially the pros and cons of North Royalton. And we want to hear your feedback as well about living in North Royalton. So please drop some comments below about your experience, what you like, what you didn't like, what was a pain, what was convenient. It's going to help everyone watching the channel. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. And as always, schedule that Zoom call because I'd love to put a face to your name. We'd be happy to help you out in any way possible. So until next time, we hope to see you around town.